The FBI did a statement and they said this was not a sex trafficking ring. Piers, these girls were not trafficked.
These girls were not trafficked. That was a statement from the man formerly known as Prince Andrew, his ex. That was his ex. They dated in the 1990s, apparently. And so the sorry wench that we just heard from is, Andrew's ex-girlfriend. Her name is Lady Victoria Hervey, rhymes with scurvy. And she's seemingly in competition with Michael Tracy on who can minimize the Epstein files the most. Okay, like it's amazing. Now, during an appearance on the UK's LBC radio, she specifically took aim at Epstein's victim, Virginia Giuffre, who has allegedly committed suicide. She says this, quote, "Just before Virginia passed away, her lies were unraveling. Like finally, people were kind of realizing, okay, this girl is making up stories, and then she conveniently dies." Conveniently dies. The host responds, "I don't think it's convenient." And Hervey responds, "Convenient for her?" In the same appearance, she also said this, quote, and I'm quoting her verbatim, "To be honest, if you're not in those files, it would be an insult because it just means that you were a bit of a loser." And then she was asked after that, "Is your name in the file?" She's like, "Yes." "Oh, really? Okay, wow, shocking, shocker." Now, Hervey was given a chance to explain herself during a recent appearance on Piers Morgan's show. And so let's take a look at whether she gives us a convincing argument that changes our minds about her. Maybe she's actually a good person. Let's take a look.
But in relation to being a loser if you're not in them, do you understand how crass and stupid that looks to people when you say that?
It basically was meant as if you were a mover, if you were like a mover and a shaker in the like high echelons of society internationally, you were in those files. Hence, everybody from Ben Affleck to Matt Damon to Elton John to Meryl Streep, everybody is in those files.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm not buying it. Now look, the Epstein files name all sorts of people, but it'll be something like, a Epstein co-conspirator is emailing back and forth with Epstein, and in the context of that email exchange, one of them will bring up a third party that has nothing to do with them. So, there were a bunch of emails, for instance, that we're going to get into this, involving the name Piers Morgan, but it's just the disgusting, I think her name is Peggy Siegel, that disgusting publicist. She's making reference to a party that various people are going to be at. It's not an Epstein party. It's like a a presser for something or some sort of book signing party, something like that. And she'll mention Piers Morgan in the context of that email. It's not Piers Morgan exchanging messages with Epstein where they're talking about how much they love to eat jerky, which is code for a lot of people believe human flesh. Anyway, so not buying it. But we've got some more from this horrible person. So Piers Morgan's own name does appear. We're gonna get to him being confronted about that in just a minute. But while on Morgan's show, Hervey proceeded to defend the man formerly known as Prince Andrew. He's had his title stripped from him. So now he's now he's got this super clunky name that I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce right now. I'll try to, here we go. Mr. Mountbatten Windsor. That's what he's called now. Anyway, who cares? So she even thinks the photo of Andrew with Virginia Giuffre isn't real. She thinks it's been doctored. So let's take a look at that.
Andrew has never carried a wallet in his life. He's got a wallet in his back pocket. There's many pictures of Jeffrey Epstein with the same trousers. Jeffrey did carry a big wallet in his back pocket.
So you're saying the picture was faked?
there's nothing real about this image, Piers.
Well, what is the motive?
Because I want this guy to stay alive.
But what is the motive
in this case?
What is the motive of the person who, in your view, falsified this photograph?
Oh, well, they was taking down the royal family, weren't they?
Well, who were?
Maybe Israel. Who knows?
Look, I would believe that Israel would want to take out, someone like Nicolas Maduro, because he is critical of Israel, right? Israel wants to take out anyone who's critical of them. I don't think that's the case when it comes to the royal family. I don't think that Israel has it out for the royal family. There's no indication that the royal family hasn't done anything and everything that Israel wants. It turns out that you dated a disgusting man who very likely raped children. That's the reality of the situation, you disgusting piece of crap. But I mean, according to her, the inclusion of Andrew's name in the Epstein Files means that he's cool, he's a real mover and shaker. So gross, man. These people exist. Like, that's the thing I can't. She's a woman. She's a woman who looks at this whole situation and she's just like, oh, what can I do to deny the reality of this situation, deny the reality that these predators victimized underage girls. There was this one email exchange with Epstein included where they're talking about one of the victims, and apparently she's religious. And she tells him that she believes that God is there with her, protecting her. And Jeffrey Epstein and someone else, the name redacted, were just mocking her about it.
This will be fun. Let's talk about first dates. We've all been there. You're trying to figure someone out, so you ask the important stuff up front. What are you looking for? What are your deal breakers? You get right to the point to see if they're the right person for you. Well, the same goes if you're hiring. You definitely want to address key questions first to see if someone could be right for your role. That's why you need ZipRecruiter. When you post your job, ZipRecruiter suggests screening questions to help you identify top candidates faster. And today you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/TYT. Their matching technology immediately starts finding qualified people who actually check all your boxes. No wonder ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site. Ask key questions and hire faster with ZipRecruiter. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/TYT. That's ZipRecruiter.com/TYT. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
These are really bad people. Okay, so this Victoria Scurvy woman is absolutely insane, but she takes it a step further, if you could believe it, and invokes our FBI to provide cover for her former boyfriend, Mr. Mountbatten Windsor. Take a look.
You've been very steadfast in your support of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor.
Let me just give you an update. So as of within the last 24 hours, the FBI did a statement and they said, with all the information that they have seen, all the millions of files, everything, they have come to a conclusion that this was not a sex trafficking ring. So exactly what I told you in 2019, I said, Piers, these girls were not trafficked. And that word was too strong a word.
I mean, she's saying it with a straight face. It's incredible. It's really incredible. And here's the thing. Americans don't trust our FBI. They have no faith in our FBI because the FBI has been caught in far too many lies. So FBI Director Cash, it's just amazing that she's like, I know, I got him. I'm gonna bring up what the FBI had to say. That'll get him. Yeah, we don't trust the FBI. FBI Director Kash Patel has been caught in so many lies. He lied under oath when he was asked about investigations into the assassination attempts on Donald Trump. he claimed that he couldn't disclose any information about their investigation because the first would-be assassin who was shot and killed on the scene was facing trial. Like, it's not just that they're liars, it's that they're stupid on top of that and treat us like we're stupid. So yeah, that isn't a gotcha. The FBI is not trusted by the American people for good reason. I wish that weren't the case, but it's become very clear that the FBI is less interested in telling the American people the truth or protecting the American people and far more interested in providing cover for a sex trafficking ring that preyed on children. So I hope that helps. She then went on to condemn Spencer Kuvin, who was on the panel for this Piers Morgan episode. So he is the lawyer who represented Epstein survivors. She claims that he's just a grifter, claims that, he's only in it for the money. You're the bad person, okay, Victoria? You're the bad person, not the lawyer who represented the actual survivors. You, though, are trash. Finally, there was an awkward moment when Hervey threw out an allegation against Piers Morgan. This is what I was referring to earlier. I gotta say, the way Piers handled it made it seem like he's guilty of something. He did seem a little bit panicked, but maybe that's just my interpretation. I'm curious what you all think, so take a look at this. We'll come right back.
I'm referring to you being in the Epstein Files, of course.
For what?
Just, being at a drinks party, possibly with Ghislaine, just talking about you. You must have read it, surely.
Yeah, that's not in the files.
It is in the files.
No, that was from her deposition
no, it's
months
not.
ago.
I promise you.
No, it's not in. It's not in the files.
I saw it in the file. I've read your whole file.
You can literally search all 3 million documents in people's names. I'm not in it. The only connection I've ever had to either of them, as I said many times, is I met Ghislaine Maxwell for 5 minutes at a book launch in New York. She was then asked about that in her lengthy testimony, and she said under oath that was the only time she ever met me. I never met Epstein or anything else.
So obviously I looked into this, and Piers Morgan's telling the truth. He is telling the truth. And you can check for yourselves. We all have access to the released documents. I don't think taking a photo with someone is automatically indicative of criminality or wrongdoing. I want to be clear about that. In fact, I keep finding myself in these kind of annoying situations where I will agree to do an event, right? Like the debate I did for Word War Debate. And there's inevitably a tier of tickets that are more expensive, the VIP tickets. And the big promise is that you get to meet the people who are part of the debate or the panel or the event during the after party. And people want to take pictures. So you take pictures with absolute strangers. You don't know who they are. In this case, I'm sure he knew who Ghislaine Maxwell was, right? But there's no indication, there's no proof that Piers Morgan has done anything wrong. We still haven't seen 3 million of the Epstein documents. So who's to say what those documents contain? But from what we have access to right now, there's no indication that Piers Morgan has done anything wrong. And so I want to just make that very clear, and also make clear that Piers Morgan did the right thing in booting her from the episode midway through. That's what she deserved. Okay, this Hervey woman, not good. Very bad. And I'll just leave it there.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.